When you think of it, money really is the key to life and living. Like, not having money causes you not to live. But it's weird because money was made up. Like, we say we want money, we say we want to be rich, but in reality, it's not that we want to be rich, it's that we want to be able to live a life without limitations. And like, I want to say, why did we make money that way? But of course, like, power, control. But like, realizing that you can also live life without money. Like, I feel like sometimes we get so fixated on, okay, you have money, rich people are able to afford the life that they want, I'm good. But also sometimes, like, you don't need money. Like it's sort of like the concept of hanging out with friends and not needing to spend money to have a good time with friends. Like, sometimes you can just get good opportunities for free. Now I seem like I'm just the point is, I'm just on a walk and I thought about the fact that money is the key to life, and it's like, that's so dumb. Without money, you have the availability to like pick apples off of trees and like feed yourself, but we say you need money so that you can pay for the apples in the stores. Like, the point is, everything already exists, but money is the gatekeeper to everything, which is dumb. It's like we created a problem so that we couldn't have the things that we wanted, aka the things that we already deserve, that grow in nature and that like exist. And I know an argument to this is like, okay, well, we don't have to do the work to get the apples, but like, the alternative right now is working a dead-end job that you don't care about. Like, a lot of people work jobs that like don't align with their morals and whatever. So like, if the alternative is having to pick your own apples, low-key valid. Picking apples might be more meaningful and purposeful than whatever job you're living now. Like, it directly impacts, if you had to work for the apples, but apples meaning like the food, the resources that you need to survive, at least you know exactly how that is benefiting you, rather than like giving your energy to a corporation that's like serving goods that you really could care or couldn't care less about if they existed. Because at the end of the day, life is about living, right? And when you're constantly working the majority of your day, like an 8-hour shift, to make the money to live, it's like, okay, you're not able to live your life. Like, does that make sense? Your life that you're living ends up being your job because you're constantly working there and constantly spending your time there. So if you have to switch to 8 hours of having to learn how to garden and plant, which that probably wouldn't even be the situation, you'd just be able to like sustain yourself. You plant a little bit for like an hour today, and then you just like lollygag in your field or whatever, for like, you get to live your life rather than spend most of your waking hours tied to a computer programming a software you don't care about. And last thing, of course, not everyone is able to do everything. Like, you may need help for how to get your Wi-Fi working in your house or whatever. But like, bartering and trading, all of this really just goes back to how society was before we had money and like capitalism. Times were tough then because of a bunch of different issues, but what if we brought that back now? And that also, like, the idea of money causing issues ties into a concept I love thinking about, which is the idea that humans love to create their own problems in order to find a solution to them. Whereas if like we just remove the systems that were causing the problems, i.e. money, we wouldn't have to solve that issue. For example, having to make like accessibility and like accommodations for disabled people, if we didn't create a system that made it hard to exist as a disabled person, then we wouldn't have to create a solution for that. Like, we know all different types of people exist and everyone has their own different abilities and functions. So why'd we create a world where it would only fit one certain percent of the world that was able-bodied, right? Like, we create our own issues to solve them. I remember in elementary school I made an essay about like why money shouldn't exist, and as I've grown up, like, I was low-key, like, I'm realizing I was onto something.